Hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, we are on floor number 2 of the dungeon here. And once again, we are a Minotaur Berserker. And we are currently using our starting weapon, a +0 hand axe. And we were lucky enough to find some +2 boots, which was kind of nice. And some ring mail. So we're no longer wearing that starting animal skin. So let's see what we got here. Alright, there's a frilled lizard. These guys are really no big deal right here. Not anything to worry about. I'm just going to wait, let him come to me. So you might think, why not like move towards him and then stop eventually, and then let him get next to you? I mean, you could do that, but the thing is, the more you move around, the higher the risk is that you're going to spot other enemies. And so the idea is, yeah, I could walk towards him, but what if I get over here and my line of sight, I see another enemy and they see me, and now I've got two enemies to worry about. So it's kind of generally a better idea to just kind of let them come to you if you see one enemy like that. Okay, so there is a... Now, apparently I mispronounced this last time. This is a kobold, not a kobold. So there you go, a kobold. And he just threw a stone at me, which I don't appreciate. But we got these poison darts, so I'm going to throw at least one. Okay, maybe two at him. Okay, we got him poisoned. So the question is he going to throw more stones, or is he going to approach to get into melee range? And I don't know how many stones they have, or even if there is a limit, but they tend to come towards you eventually. So I'm just going to see if he'll... Okay, so he throws another one. I will move towards him then. Alright, fighting skill increases to 4. He dropped a +0 dagger and some stones. Okay, so what just happened there? An adder, so a snake, entered this dispersal trap. So he was behind me. I didn't even see him. And it teleported me a couple of spaces away. Luckily, it didn't move that much. So I'm going to move back up here. Now, I don't know where the adder went, but there's a hobgoblin. And the hobgoblin shouted, so he's basically going to catch the attention of any other enemies that are within earshot. So that's never a good thing. Anyway, we're going to throw some darts at him. Okay. And so now we've got the cloud of translocational energy. So something was there and then it moved because this adder has stepped onto the dispersal trap again. But the good news is this adder could not see me when he stepped onto it, so it didn't teleport me. So I'm going to try to kill this hobgoblin. Okay. I'm going to step here so that I'm out of line of sight again. I'm trying to think, maybe it might be a good idea to come around this way, because if I just walk down this corridor, well, I mean, we could blink again. I think we'll take a risk here. Okay, so that might be the same adder right there. So these guys can poison you. I'm going to take one more step because I wanted to have a better shot at throwing a dart, but now he's next to me anyway. There you go. Okay, no, this time a goblin entered the dispersal trap. This is really starting to get annoying. Alright, so I threw the rest of my darts. Did not hit him, so I'm going to take him out. I'm going to wait for this kobold to get to me. And kill him. Hopefully there's no one else to step into that trap, because that's really getting annoying. Alright, let's get away from it. I think that's what we need to do. Yeah, we need to just get away from the trap so it becomes a non-factor. Let's go ahead and auto-explore here. So there is a battle axe. So the battle axe is, I mean, it's definitely not bad. It is a two-handed weapon, and right now, if I were to use it, the base attack delay is 1.7, so that's really slow. I don't generally like to go with a two-handed weapon unless I've already trained up a little higher when I find it, But I could pick it up just to take it. So I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to get this scroll as well, and then actually I'm going to come over here and read it. Let's see what we got here. This is... oh, good. It was a scroll of torment, so that took a bunch of my health. So I'm going to rest to get that back. There we go. But see, now anytime that I come across a scroll of torment, I will auto-identify it. But I don't know that you can use it to hurt an enemy. As far as I know, it just hurts you when you read it, so I don't really know how that works. All right, so we've got a goblin that just shouted, and we've got an adder. It looks... Yeah... I don't really have good options here. I should probably back up. What I'd really like to do is get into that corridor, but that's really far away. So what I can do is, now the adder hasn't seen me yet, hence the question mark. But he will when I step over here, probably. Okay, now he did. Yeah, I'm going to get here and wait. Okay, so the adder, as you can see, is pretty quick. Now you notice this right here. This is not a goblin, and this is not an adder. This is where I saw them. All right. So generally, now usually when I can see like the actual creature, this disappears. Are there two of each? I don't think there is. But this is what you'll see. Like this is the last the last place you saw them usually. But again, once they come into view, oh, you know what? That's right. Once I turn and look over here again, I'll see that they're not there anymore. Even though I already know they're not there because they're right in front of me. Okay. All right, so obviously we're in this corridor. We only have to fight one at a time unless this hobgoblin or whatever gets smart and comes around, but he's not going to. All right, we have reached level 3. So now we get to choose one of our attributes to increase, and we're going to go with strength here right off the bat. Honestly, to be truthful, I don't really know for this species and class if strength is superior to dex at this point. I have no idea, but I'm going to go with strength. All right, so you feel stronger. All right, now we killed the goblin. So again, this is where we last saw them, kind of. So when I come over here, yeah, once I have that line of sight again, I realize they're not there. All right, another scroll. I'm going to go ahead and read this one. In the early game, I mean, this is kind of what you do. You read a bunch of scrolls so that you can, identify them all in the future more easily. It was a scroll of teleportation. That was not good. And the reason is, in a couple turns, I'm going to teleport. And I could teleport anywhere on this floor. I could teleport into the middle of a bunch of enemies. If I had another scroll of teleport, I could read it right now and it would cancel the teleport. But I don't. So here we go. All right. So as you can see, we teleported all the way to the east over here. And there actually is a scroll of teleportation. And it tells us right here, we already have identified that by reading one. So now we know that that's what that is. All right, so I'm going to grab that. Okay, so we're not very far from where we were. Oh, I hate these ribbon worms, by the way. These guys will spit a web at you. This is the ability, the ensnare ability. And they are slower than you, which is kind of nice. But yeah, they'll hit you with this web, and then you have to break out of the web by attacking the web in order to move. But you can still, I'm pretty sure, attack even when you're webbed. You can attack someone adjacent to you. But hopefully we'll take him out before he does anything like that. Yeah, we got him. Okay, so I'm going to rest real quick. And then here's a potion and a cockroach. I'm going to let the roach come to me because he's kind of fast. There we go. All right, so this is a brown potion. If I had a scroll of identify, I could check out and check that out. I don't want to just drink it. Again, like I said last time, in my experience, yeah, sometimes bad things happen when you read a scroll that's unidentified, but it seems to be the case that more often it's bad news with potions. All right, so let's auto-explore a little. All right, found a staircase leading back up to the first floor. All right, there's a ball python. Let me go ahead and throw some darts at him while he's making his way over here, and we did not much good. I mean, we hit him a couple times, but it didn't do any damage, it seems like, and it certainly didn't poison him. All right, so we're going to pick those up. All right, let's auto-explore again. All right, what do we have? A scarab talisman. Now, a talisman, I've never used these. Apparently what they do is transform you. So if you were to use this or equip it, I guess, it would transform the user into a sun scarab, a fiery insect that carries around a mote of searing heat and light outside itself like a tiny sun. Now, I've never seen this talisman, but I have seen some talismans here. So this solar ember burns adjacent enemies whenever the scarab attacks. And it can be healed by swapping with it. That's interesting. And the scarab's own mandibles can reduce enemies' fire resistance, and fire spells are easier for the user to cast. That's interesting. You won't be able to use any of your weapons or armor when you transform. That's what this meld means. Once you are no longer in that form, you'll get your weapons and armor back. Yeah, I definitely don't want to mess with that. I don't. So let's auto-explore. All right, there's a club. Okay, so there's a ball python. The club I'm just not interested in. I'm just going to take one step forward to see if there's anyone else in there. I don't think there is, so let's handle that. Now, he did constrict me for a moment, but then we killed him. It's fine. Since we have our auto training going on, throwing is starting to train, so we got up to level 1 there. Now, this right here is an altar. So as I mentioned in the last episode, when you're a Minotaur Berserker, you automatically start out worshipping Trog. You can renounce your god, by the way. I don't know what happens, but it's probably not good. And then pray at a different altar to follow a new one. So normally what you do is you kind of hope to find a good altar with a god that you want to follow. This one is an unknown god. I don't know how this works, but I have no interest in any altars because Trog is my god. All right, let's see what's over here. Nothing, and these are statues, by the way. Let's see what's up here. Auto explore a little. All right, found a staircase leading down. We found a Book of the Dragon. Again, this is red because Trog does not like it. So we got both a staircase leading up and one leading down to the next floor. Grab the gold and let's read this scroll here. It was a scroll of fog, so that's not a big deal. As you can see, it created these motes of fog. And it says, one tile will not block vision, but multiple will. So basically, this can break line of sight. Like if I had an enemy over here, let's say, I don't know how many it takes to be able to hide you from view, but I think 2. But that's kind of the idea. Okay, all right, here we go. We got some gloves. Definitely going to pick those up. They're just regular +0 gloves, but it's okay. We're going to put them on. So we'll wear that. Also, I don't think I showed this screen last time, but if you do the % key, this shows you all your basic stuff, like what I'm wearing. So as you can see, I don't have an offhand weapon. I've got ring mail. I don't have a helmet. I don't have a cloak. I have gloves. I have boots. I don't have an amulet or any rings. So clearly you can see that your character can wear 2 rings. If you are an octopode, which is one of the species, you can wear 8 rings. There must be some other huge drawback for choosing an octopode, but having 8 rings seems pretty ridiculous. But yeah, also no status effects, no anything like that. So, again, I forgot to show that last time. Real Blizzard, no big deal. Let's see. Gray potion, another unidentified scroll. There's some poison darts. Okay. So there's another ribbon worm, an adder, and then the python hasn't seen me. I probably want to back up. Over here would be a decent spot. I don't know about this. If they come around, I mean, they could flank me either way, but this is probably the better place to go. So let me back up and wait right here. So as long as I've broken line of sight with the ribbon worm, he can't hit me with that net or the web, so that's good. Again, this is where we last saw them. They're kind of, almost transparent, kind of faded. You can see my line of sight is where the tiles are bright as opposed to shadowed. So I'm going to wait a couple turns. There's the adder. I'm going to let him come to me one more time. He did bite me because he is faster, but it's okay. All right, there's the ribbon worm. The ribbon worm, I don't know if he can shoot the web through an enemy. He probably can. All right, we killed the adder. Now we got the worm. Okay, so he hit me with the sticky webbing. The stream of webbing hits you but does no damage. We're caught in a web. So as you can see over here, you are held in a net or a spider web. You cannot move freely and will instead try to struggle free. Again, I'm pretty sure I can hit him. No, I hit the web first. Okay, that's good to know. But I did destroy the web there. Okay, the ball python was smart, and it is coming around to flank me. I might back up out of here to this spot, and I'm going to throw a dart at this thing. And he webbed me again. Trying to break out. There we go. Alright, I really want to kill this worm. I do not like these guys. There we go, he's dead. Now, the ball python can't see me. I might be able to rest. Yep, okay. I don't know where the python went. He must... Oh, he's there. He's behind me now. I'm going to pick this dart up, and I'm going to start throwing him. Oh yeah, we got 2 stacks of poison on him. How about one more? Alright. He's got us constricted. We'll take damage over time. We can't move away from the enemy. But we killed him. And obviously that breaks the constriction. Let's pick that up. Let's see what's going on down here. Auto explore, probably a little more efficient. Yeah. So let's back away from this bat. Oh, we killed him by headbutting him. So he moved right next to us and attacked, but we didn't even see it because we hit him with the retaliation right after and he's dead. That's cool. Let's auto explore again. Found a dagger and we do not care. Right. Grab this potion and gold. Another python. What is their speed again? 120. Yeah, technically I should move back. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I don't... Here's the thing. Normally when I'm playing, I'm auto-exploring almost all the time. But I don't necessarily think that would make for the best viewing experience. And also, it's usually better, I'm sure the sweatier players will tell you, that you're generally better off not auto-exploring. I can tell you one reason why specifically is I have noticed that auto-explore, when you are auto-exploring, you will open doors, including doors to vaults, which are rooms that you usually don't want to open unless you're prepared. So it's I'm trying to have a kind of mixture of auto-explore and manual exploring here. All right, another python. Let's hit him. Go. All right, let's go ahead and auto another. Man, there's a lot of pythons here. And done exploring. All right, so let's go down to the 3rd floor now. We can pick any of these down staircases. All right, 3rd floor. We have a, what is a hobgoblin? No, a regular goblin. I'll start darting him. All right, we did some pretty decent damage there. All right, so he's done. That's just a +0 club. Don't want that. All right, there's one of those escape hatches. Well, it's not a hatch. It's a staircase. Again, if I were to take this, I would go up to floor 2, and then this would disappear. I wouldn't be able to come right back down. But it would be right next to... Oh, never mind. This goes down to the 4th floor. But yes. All right, let's auto a bit. All right, found a leather armor. That's just regular +0. Oh, we found a scroll of identify. All right. So that means I can identify one of these potions. Usually what you kind of want to do, if you find a scroll of identify, if you have multiple potions of a certain type, that's usually a good one to identify because you've got multiple ones and you can make use of them. In this case, I mean, we just have one of all of these. So I'm going to read it, and I'm going to choose the fizzy red potion, and it is a potion of curing, and that's going to go up here in my quick bar. You can right-click this or in your inventory to read about it. The big thing here, obviously, it's a potion of curing, so it primarily cures poison, and also the confusion status, which is helpful. It also gives you a little bit of health, but there's a potion of healing, which is kind of a separate thing that you would want primarily for health. But this is also obviously very helpful. All right, there's a bat and a kobold with a whip. Bat is dead. I'm going to wait for the kobold to approach, take him out. +0 whip, nothing special. Let's auto-explore a bit. All right, there's an escape hatch. That would go down. And then we would not be able to come immediately back up if we needed to. And there's a reason that that's important, by the way. And I haven't had a chance to demonstrate it yet. But it's if you're familiar with roguelikes, it's called stair dancing. It's when, like, you come down a flight of stairs and there's a bunch of enemies. You want to go back up the stairs so that you can gather your thoughts, that kind of thing. Well, in this game, if an enemy is adjacent to you, as you go up or down stairs, they can follow you. But it's still better than having, like, all 10 enemies that are in a room with you follow you up the stairs. It's better to just have 1, 2, 3, or 4. So stair dancing is kind of an important thing. So if I go down this escape hatch here, also, I think it's possible for you to go down multiple floors with an escape hatch, but I could be wrong about that. But anyway, if we went down and there was a bunch of monsters there, we'd have no way to escape. So generally, you don't, at least in my opinion, you don't really want to use these. Okay. All right, we just got another potion of curing. And we found a fuming purple potion. So we got that in there as well. And then we have this unidentified scroll that I'm going to read. And it is an enchant armor scroll. Now here's the thing. Once you read it, you got to use it. If you don't use it, it's going to crumble to dust. If you use it, it's going to crumble to dust. But at least you can get something out of it. So this is probably not a great time to enchant our armor because we're not going to have this armor for a long time. But again, you might as well because it's going to crumble to dust anyway. So I'm going to enchant my ring mail, and that's going to make it +1. So it says your +0 ring mail glows green for a moment. If I go to my inventory, you'll see right here it's now +1 ring mail. Or if I do the percentage thing, you'll see it here. All right, so this is where we're going to end this episode. Thank you very much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Please hit like and subscribe if you would like to, and I will see you all next time.